Equalizer 2 is a 2018 vigilante action film that is directed by Antoine Fuqua, written by Richard Wenk, and starring Denzel Washington and Pedro Pascal, Ashton Sanders, Orson Bean, Bill Pullman, and Melissa Leo. Now, this is one of the very few films when Denzel Washington stars in a sequel. He's never starred in a sequel to any of his first films. But this story sees Denzel Washington return as Robert McCall, a retired U.S. Marine and former DIA officer who sets out a path of revenge after one of his friends are murdered. Now, this is really interesting. Not only that, Pedro Pascal as the villain, I want to say, is really interesting, but different. Not only that, this is the fourth or so collaboration between Fuqua and Denzel Washington. You had Training Day, The Equalizer, The Magnificent Seven, The Equalizer 2, and in September 2023, you're going to have Equalizer 3. This movie is also sometimes promoted and abbreviated as Equalizer Roman numeral 2 or EQ2. The action in this is really, really interesting. It's a little bit shorter than the first film. This movie runs 121 minutes, had a budget of $62 to $80 million, and grossed 190 million at the box office. This is an in-your-face, very different film. I like the aspect of how everything was going. We see McCall back and doing his own thing. Not only that, the directing is more interesting, and Robert McCall has more of a mission, so to speak, because one of his friends got murdered. So, I mean, what can drive you to do something and get revenge for your friend's death? Go after the people that did it. The action was great. I didn't mind it at all. The writing is good. The only thing I didn't like was the ending. The ending felt kind of misconstrued in a way, taking place during a hurricane and, him going back to this home and this house. And it's like, what is happening? What is going on? And these connections that he has between everything, it's just very different than the first one. And even though this was a really big success and it grossed somewhat of the same amount at the box office, I feel like it didn't capture that essence of what the first film was. While the action is good and seeing Denzel Washington kick ass is great, like I said in my first review of the first movie, the felt like a Charles Bronson Death Wish type vibe. And if they did a Charles Bronson Death Wish remake, I know they did one with Bruce Willis, but if they do one with Denzel, this is that version. This is Denzel's Death Wish. He's doing his own thing, doesn't care. And listen, for being a former U.S. Marine and a former DIA agent, you're going to be doing things. He knows his way around weapons. He knows his way about combat. He knows his way around certain things. It's really, really different. The first film came out in 2014, and this is 2018. And it just makes sense. And seeing certain characters return from the first movie is really fun. But giving the character of Robert McCall a motive to push forth in the movie is really good. I was really curious to see how a sequel would be done, but I really liked the story. The only thing that I didn't like was the action, and it just didn't feel put together, especially the ending, as I stated. While it's a fun sequel, it wasn't as good as the first one. For me, The Equalizer 2 gets 2 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about Denzel Washington this time around playing Robert McCall? Did you like the villain in this? How did you think Pedro Pascal did in this role? And do you think it was a good motive for Robert McCall to go after the people who killed his best friend? Do you think that was a good storyline and to move it forward? Or do you think they should have went with something else? And how did you think Antoine Fuqua did in this directing than he did in the first one? Let me know in the comment section below about all of the questions I just asked. And let me know what rating you would give The Equalizer to. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new review videos on my channel. I will see you all in the next review video. And thank you for tuning in.